fuck out. All right, good morning. We are here. It is the 22nd of April. We are under 8 weeks from race day, and that's awesome. So today's gonna be a quick video. I have one workout later, and it's an FTP test. I was talking to Dom when he came through a couple weeks ago that I saw, I feel physically better than I have for any prep that I've done so far. But I will say the power on the bike rides that I've been given, and it's all based off my previous FTP, haven't felt challenging in a few weeks. So we've been doing a lot of work. We've been putting a lot of time. So he said, do you want to recheck your FTP? So I'm hoping that today my FTP goes up again. 232, while respectable for me, it just feels like my legs have gotten stronger. So we're gonna recheck the FTP a little bit later. I'm gonna set up a couple cameras to get multiple points of view, and we're gonna get it up. I'll screen record Zwift just to, so you guys have a visual of what I'm dealing with on the screen and not, just me watching me on a bike. I'm not gonna, obviously I won't show the whole test. You don't need to see a 20-something minute clip, but I'll show once the test starts going. It'll be probably about 10 minutes. And we'll chop it up in between there. But yeah, that's the plan for today. Again, we are 54 days left until race day. And, we're continuing. We're almost done with April. Next week's, the last week of April. So we're doing good. But let me go ahead. Obviously, I'm chained for work because earlier in the clip, I think you saw me in a hoodie. I'm ready for work now. I got to log in, get my day started with work, and I'll come back a little bit later to talk about, how things have gone over the last couple weeks since the last video, and show the FTP test when I have probably a 60 to 90 minute block of time that's free. Okay, it is 11:35. I just got out of a meeting. I think that was my last meeting for the day. I'm gonna go downstairs and get some lunch, start to carb up so that I have the energy to do this bike ride a little bit later. I've asked a question on Instagram and Facebook what they think my updated FTP test is gonna be, what my updated FTP was gonna be. My previous was 232. And that was back before we started the training. So for 70.3 Pennsylvania, it's gonna be interesting. I'm not guessing. I have no idea. I would love to see somewhere above 245. But some of the guesses I saw 257, 250, 248. So some people are thinking I'm stronger than I am, or I'm stronger than I might be. Some people have a little bit more faith in me, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna go get carbs. I'm gonna go eat. And then within the next, 90 minutes or so, I will be on the bike because I have no more meetings this afternoon. I can get it done crazy early. And then I might even be able to switch my schedule around and get a light weightlifting session in on top of everything else. Because why not maximize time? So I'm going to eat. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm upstairs back at my desk, but here's lunch. Nice big old bowl of pasta, some meatballs, and vodka sauce. And then to satisfy the sweet tooth, little Dunkin' Donut brownie filled chocolate egg that I got for Easter. I came up here instead of staying downstairs. I'm working on a presentation for our new vice president for our area. I got to do a brief to update them on my team and stuff. So I figured I'd just come up here, work through lunch like I always do, and get it done. And then shortly enough, I'll be there on the bike trying to get to a higher FTP. So we shall see. I'm going to eat. I'll let you know when I'm on the bike. All right, well, we got a special edition for the day. These weren't supposed to be here till tomorrow, but they are here today, and I'm okay with it. For those who have been following around, the white shoes I've been wearing, which are really no longer white, you can see them down there, like they're gross. They have been around since I started the marathon prep last year, so last August, and they've taken me through 12 weeks of 70.3 training. As you can tell, the mileage on those shoes was definitely far exceeded what it was supposed to. I felt it a couple weeks ago. I felt like the knee pain started to come around. So hopefully this new delivery, which is a new pair of shoes, it will actually resolve that. So naturally I had to go with a pair of Hoka's because Hoka, you know, I'm still hoping one day Hoka watches a video or sees a post of mine and says, man, we should give him a sponsorship because he runs in our shoes every year for the last 10 plus years. And by the time they do that, I'll be retired from running. So, you know, but I'm going to keep on trying. But I got a new pair today. They're the Mach 6 versions. This is the initial first reveal. And these shoes here are going to get me through the next 8 weeks of training, kind of like an icy blue, whitish kind of coloring. I dig it. I was just telling my wife, remember back when I first started running back in like the early 2000s and my shoe colors were only black, white, or a combination of the two. I've definitely elevated my game. You see all sorts of colors back there, pink and blue and yellow and orange and red and whites and whatever. I still have my race shoes, which are down there on the floor actually. You can see them down there, the multicolored ones right there. They will still be around for racing. I've only worn those 3 times. So the mileage on those is very, very, very new, very fresh. But these will take me through the next 8 weeks of training and, you know, beyond that, because I am going to continue running even after this race is over. But now I have the white ones there. I'm going to throw them in the wash machine. I just put them there for effect this week. I'm going to put them in the wash machine, clean them up. I now have walking around shoes that are still kind of a little cushiony, just not for running. But yeah, that was the addition. Like I said, I'm relaxing. I'm finishing up some things at work, and then I'll be getting on the bike soon. Before I do that, for those that are new here, let me remind you what the wall of Hoka looks like. Now, this is every single pair of Hokas I've actually ever owned. I don't know why I saved them. Throwing them away just seems a little bit better. I hold on to them, I guess, for sentimental value. So we start here with the first pair up there, the blue ones. I think those are Cliftons, Clifton 4s. And then at some point we've got Rincons, we've got Mocs, we've got more Rincons, we've got more Cliftons, and it comes all the way down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the new ones are 12. So yeah, I like Hoka's. They're super comfortable. Before Hoka's, I was in Brooks, and Brooks, you know, they were good for what they were, but then they got rid of the shoe that I liked, and they made it a little thin one, and I was like, I don't like this anymore, so I stopped using Brooks. Before Brooks, I was in Nike. Again, this is back in the early 2000s, late 90s when I was just getting into the military, and I needed a pair of running shoes. I didn't know anything better than running shoes, but anyway, I'm gonna go back to work, continue working on what I was working on, and I'll when I get ready to get on the bike, you'll know it. All right, it is 2:47 in the afternoon. I just got my tri-shorts on, or for the bike. I'm about to drink BPN Flight with an extra scoop of base salts for electrolytes. I noticed last night in the pool during one of my sets, my foot started to cramp. So, all right, we'll add some more electrolytes into my day. Don't know why I've been neglecting them. I have not been like purposely doing it, but it is what it is. I should be going upstairs after I drink this, and I should be on the bike within the next 25 to 30 minutes to get this done. And hopefully, within 40 minutes after I get on the bike, we'll have a new FTP, and that'll be the FTP that probably goes into race week or race day, because I don't plan on getting another test between now and race day. So the next 8 weeks, this is the FTP that should take us to the finish line. And if I don't see an increase, I'm going to be really, really pissed. I can't even explain how pissed I'll be if I don't see an increase. So here's hoping we get the result we want. Like I said, I'm seeing a lot of comments and messages are like 248 to 270, and I'm like, okay, well, that's hopeful, but I'm not going to guess myself. I'm not going to speculate, because that always goes the wrong way. So here's hoping. Let's drink this, and I'll see you on the bike. It is 3:42, almost on time. I said I'd be around 3:30. It's 3:42, close enough, especially for me. I'm really, really bad at timing these things. I've said this in the past, but I got everything set up. I got a camera set up, 1, 2, plus I have the phone. I'm gonna screen capture the ramp test. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the FTP ramp test on Zwift. So what this test is going to give a warm-up, and then once the test starts, it's going to start at about 100 watts, and it's going to every minute increase by 20 watts. And your goal is to just pedal till you can't pedal anymore and see how hard you get. And it gives you your score based on your best 1 minute. Right? And it's going to go up to 640 watts. I'm not going to go up there. I'm probably going to stop somewhere around here. Right? Because let's be real, it's me. So I'm just going to, my whole plan is to pedal my ass off. Stay seated, of course, you have to stay seated. Now I also have on my bike, I put my Garmin computer. I'm just recording this to compare the numbers and the data of like the average wattage. I want to make sure that, they're both fairly accurate. I'm still going to go off of Zwift, but I want to make sure that this is still recording and still with the power meter that's on the bike. The Zwift is using the trainer itself. So there's slightly different there's slightly different numbers and wattages based on where the power is being recorded from. So we're just going to I'm just collecting the data for me. Coach Dom didn't ask for this. This is just for me. Anyway, I've got everything ready to go. I'm going to pick a flat course, because that's what you're supposed to do with tests. Pick a flat course so that the terrain doesn't impact you. And I'm going to go ahead and get to work so we can get this over with. So again, previous FTP, 232 watts. I am hoping, not expecting, hoping for an increase in FTP. My legs are feeling pretty fresh, so nothing to it but to do it. Let's get to work. All right, we're about 5 seconds away from the start of the test. 2, 1, here we go. 100 watts. And I think this kicks into erg mode by nature. So I'm just gonna let it do its thing, control my power, right? And I'm just gonna pedal my ass off. So here we go. It says it should take 10 to 20 minutes. I'm not even expecting it to take that long. So time to get back to work and keep on pedaling. So this first one, you see, my cadence is up around 95. That's like pretty, it feels pretty easy, but I'm only going 100 watts. So we'll see how easy it is when I get closer to 220, 240. That's usually when the shit starts to feel real. Yeah, see, already the first minute's almost over, and here we go. So I'll stop talking and get back to riding. See you in a few minutes. All right, so far we're doing pretty good. Keeping everything going in the 200 watt minute. Heart rate's still in zone 2, which is really good. Hopefully we can keep this up longer. Legs feel good. All right, 220. One more minute. I think that's usually when things start getting real. So just got to keep going, keep focused, stay seated, come out of aero when I need to. But so far I've been doing this whole thing in aero, feeling pretty calm. So sorry for the shaky video, but here we go. Back to Zwift. We're at the end of the 320 minute. It's starting to hurt. Ah! Keep going. Keep going. Fuck yeah, I'm done. All right, I'm done. I'm calling it. All right, I'm toast. What's my new FTP? Give me something good. Okay, I had to double check that and pause and check. But that said, my FTP is now 257, which means over the last 12 weeks with my initial weightlifting program to get stronger and then just the build of this, I increased my FTP 25 watts in just 12 weeks. So, holy shit. That's insane, and I'm perfectly fine with that. That's going to change so much for my rides going forward, but it'll make me stronger at the same time, and then that'll mean I'll be stronger for the hills come race day, because now I still have 8 weeks left to train at 257 watts as an FTP. So all my zones are going to go up. Zone 2, zone 3, my tempos are all going to go up. And this is going to be crazy. So, all right, let me calm down. Let me figure this out. Let me leave the note. Let me message Dom. And then I'll wrap up this video. I'll do upper body later. So it's really nothing to see there. Just your basic, push, pull upper body stuff. So I'm going to hit, I think, every muscle group at least once. Couple sets, that's it. So I won't record that, but I'll do my final thoughts a little bit later. Let me just see what Dom says with this FTP. All right, so I'm sitting at the computer now, and I'm about to put in my zones as with the new FTP. So let me take a picture of this so I have it for comparison. All right, so here's my zones at 232. You'll see them up here. Okay, my zone 1, 0 to 132. Zone 2 is 133 to 179. 3 is 180 to 215. Roughly zone 3 is where race power is going to be situated. And then above that is now you're getting into your L2, LT2, threshold zones, right? Obviously zone 5 would be, like between 4 and 5 is right now my threshold. With that. So if I change this to 257, these would be my new zones at 257. I'll put them up here as well. So now we're looking at 0 to 143 is zone 1. 144 to 195 is zone 2. Zone 3, this is race pace, 196 to 233. 234 to 272. There, now you're getting into lactate threshold, and then FTP is in zone 4 right now, and then zone 5 and 6 I'll probably never hit except maybe once or twice, but that would be my new zones, and I'm kind of digging them. Yeah, I'm gonna let Dom make the changes to this before I do. You know, he is my coach. I'm not changing my own things, otherwise I would have done it already. I want him to, I know Helen acknowledged, I already sent him a text with the new FTP. Helen saw it. I'm waiting for Dom to respond to that. I should hear back from him tonight. And yeah, he should update that in Training Peaks tonight or whatever, and then I'll go look at it again tomorrow and make sure, because next Wednesday I have a race pace workout, and right now it says 55 minutes at 204 watts. So that's based off of the 232 FTP. I'm curious what that's going to change to after this new FTP gets put in. So I'm encouraged, I'm excited, I'm stoked that there was actual increase. The last few tests, if you watch the videos on my page, the last few tests have actually had a drop in FTP, and I've just been really pissed off about it. So to see it go up, 25 watts is super encouraging that things are going the way they're supposed to be going. So with that, I don't really have anything else I'm going to record today. I'm going to end that right here with this. Let's end it on a positive note. I've got 8 weeks left of training. So we're 8 weeks left until race day. 7 weeks of it's going to be training. I got a week. I got travel the week before the race. I got travel. Obviously, I have to drive to the race and drive from the race. Over the next let's say 6.5 weeks, what do you want to see from me? What part of training would you like to see leading into this last 8 weeks before race day, 6.5 weeks of hard training? What do you want to see? All right, let me know below in the comments, and I'll do my best to get there. But comment. Let's what are you most curious about with what I'm doing going into the race? Because this is the best prep I've had in years, probably ever, and I'm feeling super good, super confident about where we're headed. So, what more do you want to see going in? Do you want nutrition? Do you want my supplements? Do you want my strength training? Do you want to see a run? You let me know, and I'll do what I can to record it. Swimming, open water, tell me. So I'm going to end this now. Sorry, I'm long-winded. I always am. It's just the nature of, I have no one to talk to throughout the day. You guys are my talking to. So I'm going to go. I will see you in the next video.